Hey everybody. So I quickly want to cover what happened this morning today with Bitcoin. We had a huge liquidation event that took us approximately down about 12%. Keep in mind that these liquidation events are not uncommon. We had that liquidation event before too, right around that December 11th, which was Monday. Early morning, right around the same time, huge liquidation event, and then it got bought off pretty fast. But we've been trading in that wedge pattern. And when we broke out of that initially, I was expecting, okay, we cleared the resistance. The next target was that 48,000. But that didn't happen, which was kind of something expected as well. Because if you look at the bottom of the chart, our RSIs were elevated for quite some time. And we have been in this negative divergence on RSI peaks. So that just doesn't mean necessarily it'll play out, but it's just one thing to keep in mind. It adds another element to keep in mind as you go through these charts, right? So it was a huge event, and things like liquidation events like this gets even worse when we have an ETF looming. So, and the other thing is, it also tells me there's still a lot of leverage in this market because I've seen some guys doing 10, 50, or even 100x leverage when taking some of these trades. So when the trade goes against you, even 1 or 2%, it gets exacerbated by these kind of wicks. And a lot of people get flushed out and shake out of the market when events like this take place. So the best idea is, if you're still holding any of the cryptos, is to hold a spot position and make sure you have powder lift. So when wicks like this happen, you buy off, and as you pull up, then you take that second position that you put in, take it back out, and still have that dry powder lift for events like this, at least to average down or take advantage of these huge wicks. Um, but in my opinion, it's nothing really that's concerning me right now because the volume is not necessarily concerning. And the other thing is, we have an ETF approval coming in pretty soon, and the fact that this candle got bought off pretty fast tells me that things are still okay. So we'll take a look at Ethereum. So Ethereum has been the laggard this whole time. We had this trade channel that we've been trading in. We broke out of that channel, and everybody's all excited. Okay, Ethereum is breaking out, but it seems like, just like the rest of the crypto assets, just like Bitcoin, we're coming back into that range. But this that 21,150 has been serving as a support because that candle got bought off pretty fast as well. But it was also a huge move to the downside. That was also like 14, 15%. So when Bitcoin has 10, 15%, all the altcoins, that moves gets exacerbated by that much because Bitcoin is more of a secure asset or secure trade or coin, whatever you want to call it, in the crypto assets. So it's not as volatile as the rest of the altcoins are, but then it also doesn't offer you the same returns as the rest of the altcoins do. The other coin that I had been trading and watching for quite some time was Solana. So Solana had an amazing move from the bottom, from the December lows. It ran up all the way 600% to the top of that 124 something, 130. And ever since then, we had a huge pullback from that 130 down to, so that's 31% move, right? As I just discussed with you guys, when Bitcoin has 10, 20% move, altcoins like Solana, Ethereum, and the rest, that move is exacerbated by that much. But then you don't get that same returns that you had with Solana with Bitcoin either. So it's kind of expected to see these type of moves. Also, our size were really elevated on Solana as well, and just like we saw on Bitcoin. So keep an eye on that. The volume has been relatively okay. So when we had that initial liquidation event, and actually, and we pulled down, we got right down to that point 0.5 uh, line, the support that we had right here, which is our 0.50 fib. And it bounced off of that, and we had this little trending line. We ran into resistance, and we pulled back all the way down to $84, and it got off bought off pretty fast. So keep in mind is that we're bouncing right off of that 50 fib, which has served as a really nice support. So if that breaks, when that breaks, or if that breaks, then I think the next point, or the next thing we're looking into, it would be the bottom of that wick that we had this morning. So right around the 85 would be your next level of support. And then by then our size would be cooled off, because if you look at our RSIs, they have been elevated ever since November. So it's expected to have this type of move. But if ETF gets approved, then we are looking at 144, 145 as our next target. Also, I wanted to bring up Say. I did a video a few days ago, so if you haven't watched that, please go ahead and like, subscribe, and watch that video that I posted on my account, where I covered the details, fundamentals, and technicals of Say. And when you see something like this coming in, and instead of the rest of the crypto assets as they dumped and never really recovered, um, Say went wick down all the way down to 0.60, and it got bought off pretty fast. So we're up, let's see, 45% from the bottom of that candle. So what this tells me is that there's a lot of money that's flowing in. There's a lot of bullish momentum that's still here. And this name is one of the strongest names that I have seen in a very long time. And it also keeps up with the idea that parallelism is going to be the new trend, not the fact that it's just a simple trend and it won't materialize into anything. The fact that it can process a lot of transactions and do it super cheap, uh, it does tell me that it is considered to be one of the competitors of Solana. And the fact that money showed up and told you that it could be a potential competitor to Solana adds just that much more confidence to my trade. Because remember, we were trading in this wedge. Every time we trade in that wedge, we get squeezed into that wedge, and then we push up high, and then we trade sideways, wedge pattern, we push up high, trade sideways, wedge, push up high, and it's been a stair step the whole time. So we had that stair step here, we had the stair step here, move up, stair step here, move up. So I am expecting to have a little bit of a stair step down back to that 70, 79, 80 area, and then pushing all the way ultimately back to that $1. So if you, this is just my opinion. These are my thoughts. So do with that what you will. This is not a financial advice. Remember, crypto, as you could see from Bitcoin chart, this is a very risky trade. Even the most stable coins in crypto assets are very risky trades. So do with that what you will. Consult a financial advisor. This is not a financial advice, but these are some of the charts and these are some of the technicals to keep an eye on. And if you guys want me to go over any other chart, please do let me know. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and thank you for support and subscribing to the channel. Thanks, guys.